Today I am going to teach you the construction of one of the financial statement, that is cash flow statement. As we already have discussed, it is the statement which describes all the receipts of cash, that is inflow of cash, and all the applications or uses or outflow of cash with the help of three different activities at the end of accounting period. Now remember, you can see here, after there are three different activities. Here you can see cash generated by operating activities, cash generated by finance investing activities, and cash generated by financing activities. So cash flow statement is constructed with the help of three different activities, and after each and every heading you can see there is an inflow of cash, that is receipts of cash, and then outflow of cash, that is payment of cash or uses of cash. So you can see after each and every activity you can find here inflow and outflow. Again here you can also see it is cash inflow and then cash outflow. So after each and every activities we can find inflow and outflow, and remember the last line, that is it is constructed at the end of accounting period. Here in this example, accounting period ends at December 31st, 2018. Okay. Now, when we start the construction of cash flow statement, we require under a very first activity, that is earning after tax or operating income of the business. So you can see here in this example, the you have been given or provided an income statement, and also at the end you can find the profitability or the result of income statement, and the another statement is also given, that is a statement of retained earning. So income statement and a statement of retained earning are already given to you. The next is the comparative balance sheet is also provided to you here in this example, and at the end the adjusting data is also available, although there is only one adjusting entry is required or the information is given to you. So this is the complete question. I repeat again, the income statement and the statement of retained earning given to you, and then the comparative balance sheet of the year 2017 and 2018 given to you under only one adjusting transaction, that is declared and paid cash dividend, and you are required to construct a cash flow statement. So we start the cash flow statement by writing the earning after tax or the operating income from income statement. So I am just copying here the income from income statement. Now assume that you have not been given an income statement. For example, income statement is not given to you, only the comparative balance sheet is given to you. So under this situation you need to calculate the operating income by yourself. Here in this example you don't need to calculate the operating income or earning after taxes, but if for example operating income or earning after tax is not given to you, so you may calculate with the help of comparative balance sheet. I explain you how to calculate the operating income with the help of comparative balance sheet. You can see the closing balance of retained earning at the end of December 31st, 2018. You can just write here, and then you can subtract the opening balance or the balance of retained earning given in 2017. So you can just subtract the balance given in 2017 from 2018. In this way you can get the result of retained earnings balance of year 2018. Now, as you might have remembered, I told you out of income certain amount is distributed among shareholders at the end of accounting period, or maybe dividend is also declared. There are times monthly, quarterly, half yearly, or semi-annually, or annually. So this dividend is given out of income or distributed out of income. I am adding the amount of dividend so that I can calculate the total amount of operating income or earning after taxes. So we can also calculate earning after taxes. You can see the results are same here, whether you use this technique to calculate the earning after taxes. In case if earning after taxes or the result of income statement is not given to you, or otherwise you can directly copy the earning after taxes or operating income from income statement. So hopefully this situation is clear to you. Now the second step, while constructing a cash flow statement, we are calculating cash generated by operating activities. It is the first activity. The second step, and that is we have to add the non-fund items or non-cash items. So you need to understand what are the items. There are items which are funded items and there are items which are non-funded items, non-cash items. You can see here in the income statement, the expenses are given to you. Here in this example, there are 5 expenses are given to you. The salaries expense, actually it is cash item or funded item. Similarly, cash, salaries, rent and advertising, all three items are the funded items. And the remaining two, the depreciation and the amortization, on both are non-funded items. Let me explain you with the example. For example, if I ask you, tell me how to record salaries expense, you definitely answer. So salaries expense are debited and cash is credited. For example, if I ask you rent is paid, how to record if rent is paid? So you again give the similar answer. Rent expense is debited and cash is credited. So all three items, salaries, rent and advertising expenses, are cash item or funded item. If I ask you the record depreciation, you definitely would answer, as we already have discussed in our previous chapter, depreciation expense is debited and accumulated depreciation is credited. So you can see the cash is not involved while depreciation is recorded. Depreciation expense is debited and accumulated depreciation is credited. So it is called non-fund items or non-cash items. These items are subtracted from gross profit. These both expenses, the amortization and the depreciation, are subtracted from the gross profit, so it reduces our profit. But here in cash flow statement, you have to add back those items which are subtracted in income statement. I repeat, those items which are non-funded items and subtracted in cash flow statement, so you have to add back them here in cash flow statement. So I am just copying the amount of depreciation and the amount of amortization on copyrights. You can directly post the amount of depreciation and amortization from the income statement, but again assume that if income statement is not given to you, so you can also write your answer by subtracting the balance given in 2018 from 2017. The amount of 2017 is subtracted from 2018. So you can see the result is same as the depreciation is shown in income statement. Similarly, amount of amortization, again you can subtract from 50 to 20. So these results you can see the results are same. Let me explain you in short the depreciation, amortization and the depletion. You might have remembered the depreciation or the definition of depreciation: allocated, estimated or expected amount of utilizing any tangible fixed assets over its useful life is called depreciation. Similarly, expected, estimated or allocated value of utilizing any intangible fixed assets over its useful life is called amortization. For example, goodwill, copyrights, patents, etc. And then allocated value of utilizing the natural resources over its useful life, for example oil, gas and petroleum, etc. So it's called depletion. So here in the cash flow statement we are using only two, that is depreciation and the amortization. Depreciation is calculated on tangible fixed assets and amortization is calculated on intangible fixed assets. This loss and gain is not given here in this example, so you don't need to write here under the heading of non-fund items. I have written here just to explain you, in case if anything in the adjusting data is given to you, or maybe you compute certain amount of losses on disposal of machine, or maybe gain on disposal of machine, as we discussed in our previous chapter, that is depreciation. So we may write here answer in the non-fund items. Right now I am deleting both these because we don't need to write here both these items here in this example. So in this way we have calculated the non-funded items, and I am just adding both these non-funded items. We are still at our first heading, that is cash generated by operating activities. Now you can see I am just adding the operating income and the result of non-fund item. So in this way we got the result total operating income, that is funded items or funded items. Now under the first heading, that is operating activities, we have to consider all the current assets and the current liabilities. Remember, while constructing a cash flow statement, all the items shown in the balance sheet except cash must be posted the result of those items shown in the balance sheet. Now let's start from account receivable. You can see here the balance in the year 2018 is increasing by rupees 600. What does it mean? Let me write here the rule whether the result of receivable would fall in the inflow of cash or the outflow of cash. Here in the complete cash flow statement, if you find increase in assets, so you may write the result in the cash inflow. Increase in debt or equity, so we can write the result cash inflow. Let me correct it. In case if assets are increased, decrease in assets. If assets are decreased, it will fall in the cash inflow. Similarly, if debt or equity will increase, it will fall again in the cash inflow. This is just, you can memorize or you can use the rote learning techniques. Otherwise, in the other case, you can logically also give the answer. How receivable is increased? If, for example, in the year 2017, the balance of receivable is 1500, and then in the year 2018, the balance of receivable is increased, you definitely have sold your inventory on the basis of credit to your customers. So in this way, the receivable account is increased. How receivable account is increased? Once the inventory is sold on account or on credit to your customers. So you have to receive 600 or the 2100 cash, but 1500 was the previous balance and 2100 is the current balance in the year 2018. The balance shown in the year 2018 included the balance shown in the 2017. So here we are just constructing the cash flow statement of the year 2018. We need to subtract out of 1500. I am subtracting that, so we get the result of 600. That is the difference of receivable. So decrease in assets is increase in assets. Here in this example, account receivable is current asset. Current asset is increasing. So when current asset is increased, the result would be posted in the cash outflow under the heading of cash outflow. Maybe you understand in the next example, the example of inventory. You can see the balance of inventory is again reduce or decrease. In the year 2017, the balance of inventory is 1100, and in the year 2018, the balance of inventory is 1000. That is reduced by 100. जब आपकी इन्वेंट्री का बैलेंस कम होता है, इसका मतलब ये होता है कि ये कैश इनफ्लो होता है. अगर मैं आपसे सवाल पूछता हूँ कि बताएं मुझे इन्वेंट्री हमारी कहाँ गई, तो डेफिनेटली आप कहोगे सर सेल हो गई है, और सेल होने से हमारे पास कैश इंक्रीज हुआ होगा. तो ये जो भी रिजल्ट है 2018 का, मैं उसको कैश इनफ्लो में लिख रहा हूँ, इसलिए कि हमारे पास कैश जो है वो इंक्रीज हो रहा है. आप लोग यू कैन सब्ट्रैक्ट सिंपली 1000 फ्रॉम द 1100 और 11, और यू कैन सब्ट्रैक्ट द आप 1100 में से 1000 माइनस कर दें, आप ऐसे कर सकते हैं. आप किसी भी तरह माइनस कर लें, लेकिन आपको ये सेंस होना चाहिए कि जब इन्वेंट्री कम हो रही है तो इसका मतलब ये है हमने इन्वेंट्री को सेल किया होगा और हमारे पास कैश इंक्रीज हुआ. अकाउंट रिसीवेबल में यू कैन सी इंक्रीज इन रिसीवेबल. इंक्रीज इन रिसीवेबल का मतलब ये होता है we have sold the inventory on credit to our customer, but the cash has not been received yet. Remember, cash has not been received yet. हमने इन्वेंट्री दी है लेकिन पैसे अभी हमने रिसीव नहीं किए हैं, इसलिए मैं इसको माइनस में शो कर रहा हूँ. जब हमारे पास कैश आ जाएगा तो मैं इसको प्लस में शो करूँगा. कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में अगर बिजनेस में कैश इंक्रीज हो रहा है तो आप प्लस करोगे, अगर कैश डिक्रीज हो रहा है तो आप उसको माइनस करोगे. ठीक है, आप कैश को देख रहे होते हो विद द हेल्प ऑफ ऑल दीज अकाउंट्स. सो आई रिपीट अगेन, द इन्वेंट्री डिक्रीज होने का मतलब ये है कि हमने इन्वेंट्री सेल की होगी और सेल करने से हमारे पास कैश आया होगा. तो कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में मैं कैश को देख रहा होता हूँ with the help of all these accounts shown in the balance sheet. Now the current liabilities under the heading of cash generated by operating activities. आप current assets और current liabilities को लेते हैं. The account payable is your current liability. So you can see the decrease in the liability. Liability is decreased by 1200. What does it mean? Liability is decreased only once the amount is paid to supplier. Here in this example we are paying 1200 to our supplier, so cash is decreased from the business. अब आप 800 में से 2000 को माइनस करें या 2000 में से 800 को माइनस करें, आपके अंदर ये सेंस होना चाहिए कि ये जो 1200 है, 1200 रुपये हैं, वो हमारा कैश आउटफ्लो में आएगा, इसलिए कि बिजनेस में से कैश कम हो रहा है. मैं रिपीट करता हूँ, अकाउंट्स पेएबल पहले हमें 2000 पे करने थे और आज हम कह रहे हैं हमें अब 800 रुपये पे करने हैं. तो ये कैसे मुमकिन हो गया कि 2000 में से अब 800 रुपये पे करने? इसका मतलब ये है हमने अपने सप्लायर को 1200 रुपये पे किए होंगे, तो हमारा कैश डिक्रीज हो रहा है. इसलिए मैं इसको कैश आउटफ्लो में ले रहा हूँ। द नेक्स्ट लायबिलिटी यू कैन सी द अमाउंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट। आप इनकम स्टेटमेंट में भी चेक कर सकते हो द अमाउंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट द रिजल्ट फ्रॉम द बैलेंस शीट। मैं इसलिए तमाम आंसर बैलेंस शीट में से लिख रहा हूँ कि अगर इनकम स्टेटमेंट इनकेस हमें गिवन नहीं हो तो फिर आपको उसको आपकी बैलेंस शीट में से रिजल्ट लिखना होगा। इंटरेस्ट आपका देखिए इंक्रीज हो रहा है। इंक्रीज होने का मतलब क्या है कि हमने इस साल अमाउंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट अभी पे नहीं किया है। हमारी लायबिलिटी इंक्रीज होने का मतलब ये अभी हमने कैश पे नहीं किया है। हाँ, जब हम करेंगे तो हमारा कैश कम हो जाएगा, बट राइट नाउ वी आर नॉट पेइंग आवर कैश इन फॉर्म ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, सो इट मीन्स कैश इज इंक्रीज। आई एम जस्ट सब्ट्रैक्टिंग 60 from 100, so I get the result 40, or I could directly post the amount from the income statement, that is amount of interest is given in the income statement which is equal to 40। ठीक है, अभी हमने पे नहीं किया है, इट इज अ लायबिलिटी। लायबिलिटी हमारी इंक्रीज हो रही है, जब हम पे करेंगे तो हम कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में से इसको माइनस कर देंगे। मैं फिर रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में अगर आप कैश पे कर रहे हो तो वो माइनस होगा, अगर आप अभी कैश पे नहीं कर रहे हो तो आपने प्लस कर दिया है। इसी तरह अगर आप कैश रिसीव कर रहे हो तो आप प्लस कर दोगे, इनफ्लो हो जाएगा। अगर अभी जो है वो आप जो है कैश पे कर रहे हो तो आपका माइनस हो जाएगा। अच्छा, नेक्स्ट आइटम की तरफ आते हैं। अगेन द टैक्सेस, अगेन द सेम सिचुएशन, a similar situation like an interest, the liability is increased, it means the amount of taxes has not been paid yet. So right now cash is increased for the short period of time. Once we pay the amount of taxes, then we can subtract the cash from the cash flow statement, but right now we are not paying the amount of, although we have recorded the amount of taxes in our income statement, okay, but it is yet a liability. We have not paid the amount of interest, amount of taxes so the cash is increased for the short period of time. In this way we have calculated all the current assets and all the current liabilities. Now let's see the result of current assets and the current liabilities. I am adding these three results and then we have to subtract the cash outflow. Now we have calculated all the results fall under the heading of cash generated by operating activities. So I am writing all the results. The first result here, the total operating income according to funded items, and the cash inflow from the current assets and the current liabilities, and the cash outflow again from current assets and current liabilities. So this is the total result of cash generated by operating activities. Now let's move forward under the next heading, that is cash generated by investing activities. The rule is the same for the complete cash flow statement. किसी भी हेडिंग में अगर आपके एसेट्स डिक्रीज हो रहे हैं, एसेट डिक्रीज होने का मतलब ये होगा कि आपके पास कैश इंक्रीज हुआ होगा और वो कैश इनफ्लो में आएगा। इसी तरह अगर आपकी लायबिलिटीज इंक्रीज हो रही है तो इसका मतलब ये होगा वो आपका कैश, लायबिलिटी इंक्रीज होने का मतलब ये होता है आपका कैश इनफ्लो हो जाता है, ठीक है। और लायबिलिटी अगर डिक्रीज हो रही है इसका मतलब आप पेमेंट कर रहे हो तो वो फिर आउटफ्लो में आएगा। इसी तरह इक्विटी, अगेन जो सिमिलर रूल होते हैं लायबिलिटी के, ये दोनों राइट साइड ऑफ अकाउंटिंग इक्वेशन में आते हैं, इसलिए इनके रूल्स भी सेम है। तो आप रूल भी याद कर सकते हो और आप लॉजिकली इस रूल को डेवलप भी कर सकते हो अंडरस्टैंडिंग के साथ। लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड्स द सेकेंड हेडिंग। Second heading is the cash generated by investing activities. In investing activities, either we are buying a fixed assets or we are selling our fixed assets. There are times when we also exchange our fixed assets, our tangible fixed assets here we are discussing. So if we are for example buying or purchasing any tangible fixed assets, तो ये एग्जाम्पल होगी हमारी कैश आउटफ्लो की। अगर आप कोई फिक्स एसेट्स खरीद रहे हैं तो इसका मतलब है एसेट तो आपका इंक्रीज हो रहा है लेकिन कैश आपका डिक्रीज होगा, आप पे कर रहे होंगे। सिमिलरली इफ यू आर सेलिंग योर ओल्ड एसेट्स, ओल्ड फिक्स टेंजिबल एसेट्स, तो जब आप एसेट्स को सेल कर रहे होते हैं, although your tangible fixed assets are decreased are recorded on the credit side, but cash is increased by selling the tangible fixed assets. So cash is recorded at the debit side, or here it would be added in the cash inflow. Now let's start or find out from the balance sheet the fixed assets. There are two fixed assets given here. You can see the amount of office equipment is increased. In the year 2017 it was equal to 3000, and the year 2018 it is increased by rupees 2000, which is equal to 5000. So how the amount of office equipment is increased? Can you give the answer? Yes, the amount of office equipment is increased because in this period, that is in the year 2018, we have purchased the amount of office equipment. So office equipment has been purchased by rupees 2000. जब आप ऑफिस इक्विपमेंट खरीद रहे हैं, that is your cash is reduced or cash is decreased. मैं आपको पहले ये समझा रहा था, आप 3000 में से 5000 को माइनस करें मैन्युअली, या 5000 में से 3000 को माइनस करें. आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि आपका ये जो 2000 आंसर होगा वो कैश आउटफ्लो में आएगा. इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटीज में ये कैश आउटफ्लो में आएगा. इसी तरह आप लैंड को देखें जरा. लैंड आपकी रिड्यूस हो रही है. 2017 में इसका बैलेंस 7000 है, 2018 में इसका बैलेंस डिक्रीज हो गया है और ये 6000 हो गया. डिक्रीज बाय रुपीज 1000. तो लैंड का बैलेंस, हाउ द बैलेंस ऑफ लैंड इज रिड्यूस, सो वी आर एज्यूमिंग वी हैव सोल्ड द लैंड. ठीक है, the part of the land is sold at rupees 1000. So once you sell the land or the part of land, although the land is decreased but the cash is increased, so I am writing the difference, or in other words I am adding rupees 1000. ठीक है, हम ये डिफरेंस इसलिए निकाल रहे होते हैं कि हमें 2018 के रिजल्ट्स चाहिए, और 2018 में जो रिजल्ट्स दिए हुए हैं उसमें 2017 भी इंक्लूड है. तो मुझे उनको, और आई ऑलरेडी हैव कंप्लीटेड बोथ द फिक्स्ड एसेट्स. नाउ आई एम जस्ट राइटिंग द रिजल्ट ऑफ कैश जनरेटेड बाय ऑपरेटिंग, कैश जनरेटेड बाय इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटीज. सो इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटीज में अगर आप देखें, आपका ओवरऑल रिजल्ट इज इन कैश आउटफ्लो फॉर्म और नेगेटिव रिजल्ट है. द नेगेटिव रिजल्ट डज नॉट मीन इट इज अ लॉस. नेवर. It means during the year 2018 we have purchased the tangible fixed assets, or in other words we have made an investment by purchasing the tangible fixed assets. We want to increase the production level maybe, that is why we are sorry, that is why we are purchasing office equipment. So these are also called the real assets. Real assets are those assets which are used to increase the level of production. So यहाँ आपको नज़र तो आ रहा है कि यार हमारा आंसर माइनस में आ रहा है. इस माइनस का मतलब प्रॉफिट या लॉस नहीं है, इसका मतलब है इस पीरियड में हमने इन्वेस्टमेंट की है अपने ऑफिस इक्विपमेंट में. नाउ लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड्स द थर्ड एक्टिविटी, दैट इज कैश जनरेटेड बाय फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटीज. एज वी आर वेल अवेयर, the assets are shown on the left hand side of accounting equation, that is debit side, and the debt and equity are shown at the right side of accounting equation, that is credit side. So while discussing the financing activities, we have to discuss the right hand side of accounting equation, that is debt plus equity. But remember, here under this heading we have to discuss the long term debt only, as we already have discussed the current liabilities or the short term debt under the heading of cash generated by operating activities. So here we have to discuss the long term debt and the investment made by the shareholders. In case if debt or equity are increased, so we have to write or the post the result under the heading of cash inflow, or vice versa. In case if the long term debt or the equity is decrease or reduce, so we have to write the answer under the heading of cash outflow. let me explain you with an example. You can see here in the balance sheet or in the comparative balance sheet, the bonds payable balance shown in the 2017 4000, and it is increased by rupees 500, which is equal to 4500. So the bonds payable is a risk free type of investment, as already been discussed in our previous chapters. Here the bondholders are making investment in our company, that is XYZ Corporation, by rupees 500 in the year 2018. यहाँ क्या हो रहा है, जो बॉन्ड होल्डर्स हैं वो हमारी कंपनी में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं 2018 में, क्योंकि 4000 के बॉन्ड्स तो 2017 में भी थे। तो यहाँ जो ये 500 इंक्रीज हो रहे हैं, इसका मतलब ये है कि जो बॉन्ड होल्डर हैं वो हमारे बिजनेस में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं 500 रुपीज से, उन्होंने हमसे बॉन्ड खरीदे हैं। It's a risk-free type of investment. Yes, we have to return the principal plus interest. We have to return the amount to the bondholders in form of principal amount and the interest amount. But right now, the cash is increased. Once the bondholders are making investment in our company, that means cash is increased. तो ये cash inflow में आ जाएगा। हमारी liability तो बढ़ रही है, लेकिन फिलहाल हमारे पास cash increase हो रहा है, और क्योंकि ये लॉन्ग टर्म डेट है इसलिए मैं इसको फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटीज में इसका रिजल्ट लिखूंगा और इनफ्लो की साइड पे लिखूंगा। ये 500 से इंक्रीज हो रहा है। मैं फिर रिपीट कर देता हूँ, आप 4000 में से 4500 को माइनस करें या 4500 में से 4000 को माइनस करें, आपको इतना पता होना चाहिए कि रिजल्ट प्लस में आएगा। क्योंकि आप मैन्युअली काम कर रहे होंगे, तो मैनुअल काम करने से आपको ये 500 इनफ्लो में लिखने हैं, फिर आप किसी वैल्यू में से किसी को भी माइनस कर दें। Similarly, let's see the investors or the shareholders are making investment in our company. You can see the investment is increased by rupees 2000. You might have remembered in the previous chapter we used to make a recording, like at the left hand side of accounting equation we used to write cash, and on the right hand side of accounting equation we used to write ordinary shares capital. So whenever shareholders make an investment, we write or the cash is increase, or in other words cash is inflow. तो ये फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटीज में पहले 6000 शेयर होल्डर्स की इक्विटी थी, या ये समझ लें ऑर्डिनरी शेयर्स कैपिटल या इन्वेस्टमेंट की अमाउंट 6000 थी, और अब ये इंक्रीज होके 8000 हो गई। तो इस साल इसका मतलब ये है कि शेयर होल्डर ने मजीद 2000 इन्वेस्ट किए हैं हमारे बिजनेस के अंदर, दैट इज XYZ कॉर्पोरेशन में। और वैसे भी ordinary shares capital is always shown on the cash inflow side. If for example business is issuing, like here in this example, shares of rupees 2000, so cash is increased by rupees 2000. If for example the business issues shares of rupees 500, then cash will increase by rupees 500. In case a business issues shares of 0, then cash will not increase and the amount would be written as 0. But how can you define the, if shareholders are making no investment, then you can write okay the amount is 0. But how can you define the negative result? There are no example of negative results. अगर शेयर होल्डर इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं कर रहे हैं तो भी रिजल्ट 0 में होगा। हम माइनस की कोई एग्जाम्पल नहीं बता सकते इसमें कि ऑर्डिनरी शेयर कैपिटल हमारा माइनस में आ सकता है या ये कैश आउटफ्लो में आएगा। आप कुछ भी शेयर्स इशू करें आपके पास कैश इंक्रीज होगा। अगर आप शेयर्स इशू नहीं कर रहे हो बिल्कुल भी, तो इसका मतलब आपके पास कैश नहीं आएगा, लेकिन ये आउटफ्लो में नहीं हो सकता। ओके, द वन लास्ट थिंग इज रिमेनिंग, एज द रिटेन अर्निंग हैज ऑलरेडी बीन शोन in the operating income, in the result of operating income, and you might have remembered anything shown in the adjusting data, है ना, हमेशा वो दो साइड पर इम्पैक्ट करता है। तो आपने अपने शेयर होल्डर्स को कहा था in an annual general body meeting or in any general body meeting, the director announced the dividend and it was also paid in form of cash. सो अगर आपने डिविडेंड पे किया अपने बिजनेस में से कैश की फॉर्म में अपने शेयर होल्डर्स को, तो इसका मतलब आपके बिजनेस में से कैश को माइनस भी होना चाहिए। तो ये 405 रुपये मैं माइनस कर रहा हूँ, माइनस का मतलब ये बिजनेस में से कैश जो है वो आउटफ्लो हुआ है। इन दिस वे वी हैव कंप्लीटेड आवर फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटीज, नो remaining, there are no accounts remaining now. You can see each and every item shown in the balance sheet or each and every account shown in balance sheet have been taken in the cash flow statement except cash. कैश को नहीं लेंगे, कैश से हम फिर लास्ट में अपना रिजल्ट चेक करेंगे। I am just writing the result of cash inflow under the heading of financing activities and the result of cash outflow under the heading of financing activities. Now I am writing a total result from the financing activities, that is adding 2500 and subtracting to 405 rupees. तो इस तरह हमारे पास तीनों एक्टिविटीज के रिजल्ट आ गए। कैश जनरेटेड बाय ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटीज विच इज इक्वल टू 1451, cash generated by investing activities which is equal to rupees 1000, the minus sign or the negative result, but it does not means the profit or loss, and the cash generated by financing activities which is equal to 2095. Now I am adding all these three results obtained from the three different activities. So overall we can see in this period, in the year 2018, the cash is increased by rupees 2546. ओवरऑल अगर हम चेक करें इस पीरियड में 2017 और 2018 को अगर आप कंपेयर करें तो हमारे पास कैश इस पीरियड में इंक्रीज हो रहा है 2546 रुपये से। ज़रा हम अपने आंसर को चेक कर लेते हैं कि हमने ये कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट सही बनाया है या सही नहीं है। सो वी कैन जस्ट चेक द डिफरेंस। आप सिर्फ डिफरेंस चेक कर लें इस कैश के डिफरेंस को आप चेक करें 2018 और 2017 के, अगर रिजल्ट सेम है इसका मतलब ये हमने स्टेटमेंट भी सही बनाया। मैं सिर्फ यहाँ पर रिजल्ट चेक कर रहा हूँ। आई एम राइटिंग हियर द कैश बैलेंस शोन इन द ईयर 2018 और मैं इसमें से सब्ट्रैक्ट करूंगा जो कैश का आंसर 2017 में शो हो रहा है। सब्ट्रैक्ट करने से मुझे ये तो पता चल रहा है कि कैश इस पीरियड में या इस साल हमारा इंक्रीज हो रहा है, एंड इट इज इंक्रीज बाय 2546. So hopefully this example is clear to you. I'll explain you another example of cash flow statement with the multiple data available at the end of accounting period or the adjusting data. मैं एक और एग्जाम्पल अभी आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा वीडियो के थ्रू जिसमें मल्टीपल डेटा अवेलेबल होगा आफ्टर आपकी ये जो कंपैरेटिव बैलेंस शीट है उसके बाद। ओके, थैंक यू सो मच।